Android users, you can now have TYT in the palm of your hand. Our TYT app is available for download in the Google Play Store. Just go to tyt.com/app to find out more.
There was another Unite the White rally. No, the Unite the Right rally, number 2. It went on a few days ago to commemorate the first anniversary of the original Unite the Right. I can't say it. A bunch of white people got together, and it was terrible the first time, and it was sucky the second time in a completely different way. No one was there. So this is Jason, what is his name?
Kessler. Right?
Yeah, so he put together, he went and had this huge initiative to block off all the space that he needed, and they called in the police and everyone to get ready. Turned out there were more counter protesters than there were actual white supremacists there. And the thing people are talking about today is how much it cost. So according to the Washingtonian, Jason Kessler's sparsely attended Unite the Right 2 rally cost the city $2.6 million, accounting for road closures, cleanup, and the 1,000+ law enforcement officers who were on hand to keep the peace over the weekend. Now, to give you an idea of how many people showed up, there was a person named Luke Barnes who was there and tweeted out a photo of it that some people saw, and here's what that looked like. No one. It's like barely visible, the sum total of Jason Kessler's manpower. They say that there were just a couple dozen people there. And so if you do the math on how much that cost per person, if you're the most generous you can be in terms of overestimating how many people from the white supremacist groups actually showed up, the district spent nearly $87,000 per attendee. In comparison, Washington, D.C. spent an average of $34,500 per homeless person in the entire year of 2017 versus the day that they spent doing the Unite the Right rally.
So free speech is not free, quite literally in this case.
Yeah.
And look, it's infuriating when you look at public schools and how underfunded they are, when you look at healthcare and how underfunded that is. And then you look at something like this and see $2.6 million getting spent on white nationalists, right? It is infuriating. But with that said, they have a constitutional right to do the rally. And you gotta spend the money to make sure that violence doesn't break out, that you have authorities there to protect people, to keep protesters and counter protesters separated so things don't break out in violence. So even though it is infuriating that resources go to something like this, I do believe in free speech and protecting our constitutional right to protest. And just because I don't like what they're protesting doesn't mean that I'm going to prevent it from happening or ban it from happening. With that said, I love the fact that the counter protesters outnumbered, these white nationalists. It's fantastic.
Yes.
And I think what this shows more than anything is that, we do have Americans who are willing to come together and fight against hatred. But more importantly, the people who showed up last year but did not want to show up this year, I think they were afraid. I think they were afraid because there were consequences for them. I mean, first of all, someone got murdered.
Yeah.
And you were associated with a group of people who took part in that, right? And then more importantly, like you have your dorky picture all over the internet holding a tiki torch and talking about, how much you hate Jewish people and everyone else. Like it's embarrassing. Like I would be incredibly embarrassed if I was in any of those photos.
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.